Just came across old HR documents showing what people made 10 plus years ago versus now. I recently was cleaning out some hard drives. I am in IT, and came across salaries and hourly wages by position for 2010. To my shock, they were literally nearly identical from 2010 to 2023. Even my specific position, sysadmin, I earn $80K. The person who was hired in 2010 was brought in at $80K. WTF is up with that? How do companies get away with this? Honestly, I am thinking, is it my fault? Is it our fault? Why are we letting companies do this to us? Not sure how to approach this. Talk to boss? Find a new job? This is why they tell you not to discuss salary. You should leak the info somehow. A lot of times the same job 10-15 years ago even paid more than now. It's called the six-figure salary illusion. The cultural idea that 6 figures is a big salary has created a psychological barrier causing people to fail to notice declining value and accept low salary. You naturally in your head think that only top positions get a 6-figure salary and so think the $80K they offered is reasonable or even pretty good. In reality, a 6-figure salary isn't that much anymore. Low-end office jobs in the 90s, $4,050K, got the equivalent to today's $100K. In fact, inflation is so bad over decades that I would argue it's unreasonable for any educated or specialized role to pay less than at least $100K. How do companies get away with this? Because people accept it. I think a tough thing too is perception. Just like, oh yeah, $X is how much a whatever job should make, and perceptions on that salary level clearly shift slower than inflation. Like someone saying, wow, someone flipping burgers should not be making $15, instead of saying, if a person flipping burgers needs $15 to barely survive, why am I only making $20? Quote, it would be very unfortunate if someone printed it and put it out in visible place for everyone to see. Not to forget the shrinking titles. What could pass for level 2 10 years ago is entry level now. Double penetration. The basic answer is, the US government and corporations are constantly colluding on how to screw Americans over. Look at how the US Federal Reserve only started raising rates when wages had just begun going up in response to the inflation, not as a cause of inflation, and blatantly said they are doing it to curb increases in incomes and blamed inflation on that. Another example is the now millions of work visas issued to mostly IT workers in order to help companies suppress wages, instead of demanding they provide training to American graduates. All in all, they hate you all. And the sooner you all accept this fact, the sooner it will all make sense to you. My rent in 2008 $410, my salary in 1991 $56,000, my rent in 2023 $1,900, my salary in 2023 $57,000. A major factor that has somehow gone unmentioned is unions. Those of us that had to get a degree to get a job somehow bought into the propaganda that we don't need unions. If we had more unions, we would have a lot more bargaining power. It's not just the combined action. It's also the benefit of having people that have more familiarity with what jobs are paying and what they could be paying. We were flat out told in 2006 there'd be no more raises. They kept the promise and never again did I get a review with a raise. They just gave occasional cost of livings every couple years to everyone. The biggest was 3%. When I complained to my boss, she said, "You did get a raise. You got the increase." It is like that because we have allowed it. Why are we letting companies do this to us? Because true representation in the halls of government is expensive. Because it is cheaper to replace people at the same rate, or lower, than give people a raise. That is exactly why the average tenure has been dropping. That whole argument about why employees aren't loyal anymore and all that. 20 years ago I made the same as I do now. 10 years ago I made much less. Email it to the whole company. It's them. But it is also on us. If the majority of us said FVCKU, no one will work for so little, and everyone did that, we'd all be paid more. But it's mainly on them being able to legally screw everyone out of everything. And have the backing of the government while doing it. Well, there's far more of us than them. Let's do this thing. Save the information somewhere else before doing anything. Unions, transparency, labor regulations that actually protect workers, and ultimately a general strike. Bets the CEO's salary wasn't the same.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.